Awesome. Right. Let's get cracking. So, first question. Introduce yourself, your name, and where you're from. So, my name is Thierry Ngutagure. Probably easier said drunk than sober. I am 28 and I'm from Bradford at the moment. And where do you work and what is your job role? So currently, I actually work in Sheffield for the best digital agency in the world called Rise at Seven. And my job role is I am the data and insights manager there. So, what industry do you work in? So, Rise at Seven is a creative SEO agency. Now, to boil that down to what that actually means, we work within the marketing, PR, and search engine space. So, we support our clients within each one of those touch points, making sure that they maximize the people that they're talking to. So sometimes that may be yourself. So some of the clients we work with are the likes of Misguided, Go Compare, Kath Kiston, Game, PlayStation, you name them, and we work with those types of people. So we work on them with each one of their kind of marketing avenues and touch points to get in front of their customers, as well as just make better and well-informed decisions with their kind of digital PR and technical SEO output. So explain what your workplace does and a typical day in your job. So as a kind of a typical day for me would be, as data insights manager, I kind of touch on a couple of things. So I work with a digital PR team. So the digital PR team are kind of tasked with coming up with campaigns that are for the purpose of building links, which then are the purpose for benefiting SEO. So have a little read up about SEO. It's just a bit too much to explain at the moment. But to kind of boil it down, it's those types of campaigns that you see on TV, on advertising, on social media. You'll start to notice them as you kind of start to listen to me, and this type of stuff that we kind of come up with. Whether it's sending a games console to space or just kind of showing new research that our client has done to highlight something that might be happening in our kind of current global economy. So my daily routine is I meet up with a digital PR team, and we try to instill data in and research into every campaign that we've come up with. So if we are looking at, for example, the most recent one we looked at, what is the most popular or in-demand games console across the world? Right, so we know that the new PS2 and the Xbox is coming out. Not the newest PS2. What am I talking about? How old am I? PS2. The new PS5, I think it is coming out. And so then we want to understand what is the demand, what is the most popular console, who's going to beat who, that kind of rivalry. And so then the digital PR team come up with that campaign, and that data then comes to me. It comes to me to kind of sort that data. And so then I look at things like search volumes. So how many people are searching for it on Google? We look at it from the unit sales. How many consoles have been sold in previous years gone by in different countries, so therefore which one's the most popular, what are people saying about it on social media, and then we kind of package that up and give it to news outlets, so whether that be the Sun or other kind of gaming stuff like Tech Radar and other kind of large publications, and then that then benefits our clients from a digital PR perspective and an SEO perspective. So yeah, that is my kind of typical day. Would be a lot of meetings, a lot of brainstorms. Although I work in data, it's actually very kind of ideation heavy. So we come up with a lot of creative ideas, and then it's up to me to then go, right, Thierry, how can we put data into that? Or what kind of data do we need? And then it's up to me to deliver that. So it's super, super fun. It means I get to travel all over the place. As I say, go to like Misguided's offices and all kinds of things like that. I get to be on shoots. I get to be on all kinds of stuff. So in other places where data might be somewhere where you kind of sit in the corner and you type away in your computer, mine is very much understanding what the business needs for our clients, so understanding exactly what it is that Misguided needs, and then how can I use data to help them deliver that in a very, very creative way. And then a lot of it as well is just answering a lot of maths questions for a lot of people, if I'm honest. It's not necessarily that I'm the best at maths at all. I do believe that I am one of the best problem solvers, and that's, I think, one of the key skills with this job is you don't have to be good at maths, you don't have to be good at data, but logic and just going, I have this problem, how do I get to that end result and to figure it out? That's where you kind of become the best. So what do you enjoy the most about your job? I love the people. Ironically, typically data doesn't really put you in front of too many people sometimes in some agencies, but ours is we kind of market ourselves as the creative data agency. So it means that no matter where you are within the team, you have to be a creative individual. And it doesn't mean that you're creative in terms of drawing or graphics or the traditional sense of creative, but creative in that you find a solution that wasn't necessarily being done before or has been thought of by somebody else. So it's kind of like creative and innovative. But yeah, I love the amount of people it puts me in front of. Some of the smartest people I've ever come across work in my agency, and that's a blessing every single day. It also does help that we have a creative environment as well. So we have a bathtub in our office. It's not a bathtub for people to have baths in. It's full of like bouncy balls and things like that. We have table tennis. We have all kinds of stuff just to make sure that we create a creative space for us to kind of thrive in, which is quite interesting and rather fun. Can't complain. So your career journey, did you go to college, university? What did you study? Awesome. So I did go to college. I went to Notre Dame College in Leeds. Whoop, whoop. Head boy there, don't mean to brag. But what I studied there, so I did psychology, biology, chemistry, PE, and I think I did physics as well. Quite a lot of science heavy subjects. Now, I then went on to university. I went on to Leeds University and I studied biological sciences. But I quickly found out within the first year, the first couple of months, that this was just not a thing for me. I was very much a person who thrives being around other people. And so working in the lab-based kind of careers just wasn't for me. Now, it doesn't mean that I didn't switch course. I stuck with it and I finished my degree. But what I did during that time was I found work experience and I joined societies and I joined LST, Leeds Student Television and Leeds Student Radio and things like that to kind of try and understand what it is that I actually wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be around people, but what is it? Within that kind of being around people, can I merge? And so then, yeah, that's when I then went on to do my master's. Once I'd realized what I kind of wanted to do, so I did a work placement. Well, I got a job, in fact, at a student travel agency, and I was part of their kind of marketing team. And I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I want to do. So then I wasn't too sure where to start with them, and they were quite a small company at the time. So I thought I'll go back and I'll do my master's. So I did my master's in marketing, and that was just to help me understand what it is marketing is, because it's a huge umbrella term. It's like saying I want to do engineering. And so then it helped me kind of go, oh, actually, let me take the analytical side of my brain that I picked up at biological sciences, merge that then with the creative side and the strategy side of marketing, and actually data and insights and kind of business operations. That is my little kind of niche. And yeah, I absolutely love it. It was a bit of a convoluted way to get to what I wanted to do, but I'm here now. Right. So, did you complete any of the qualifications for your job? So, yeah, interestingly, qualification-wise, there is no qualification for SEO. There is some for like digital PR in terms of like communications or just PR in general and things like that. But you don't have to do a formal qualification in order to get a job within the digital industry. The most thing when I'm hiring people and I'm looking at is experience. So not experience in the sense of always like, have you worked for somebody else or what other places have you been to? It's experience that you've gathered yourself, right? What have you gone on and looked at? So I'm talking to kids who are like 16 who have taught themselves how to code in their bedroom. I'm talking to other teenagers who have built such a large TikTok following that they've started monetizing that and creating a business from that. It's those little things where outside of your day-to-day, what have you gone on to push your passion to do? I don't want you to kind of come to me and go, oh, I've built these things for these clients and things like that. Yeah, that's absolutely amazing if you've had the opportunity to go to other agencies and other businesses and stuff like that. But how have you turned your passion into something that can be relevant within the career that you also want to go and kind of be in? So whether that is learning coding or learning how to do TikTok or Instagram, or are you a gamer, or do you love reading? So therefore you write a lot of short novels at the moment. So we've got some playwrights that have joined our company in the copywriting portion, and they bring a completely different kind of brainwave to ideas and to our clients, and that's exactly what we're kind of looking for. So yeah, you don't have to complete any formal qualification. Just make sure that yeah, taking advantage of the time that we have now. So how did COVID-19 lockdown affect your work? Well, interestingly, so we went into lockdown in March with about 12 people in the agency. We'd only really been around at that point, for about 8 months. So now we have just hired our 45th person. And we've smashed all revenue targets, all growth targets. And that's just because the digital industry, we're so thankful for, considering everything that's happened. The digital industry has kind of thrived during this time. So we're extremely lucky, and we're aware we're very lucky, and we're kind of keep pushing through. And it's just that kind of team tenacity at this point that kind of will continue to push us forward. But it just goes to show as well that the digital industry has a large resilience, in the sense of we're quite adaptable. And yeah, some agencies and some companies maybe didn't fare too well just because depending on the clients they have, whether it's in aviation or maybe in the hospitality industry, they had to therefore consolidate a lot of their costs and stuff like that. But luckily for us, a lot of our clients are e-commerce, so they basically have websites in which they sell products. So during the lockdown period, it pushed a lot of people online that couldn't maybe shop in the high street anymore, and so then it's kind of benefited them that way, and it's made us kind of be adaptable as well, in the type of stuff that we create to kind of help them make better business decisions, as well as kind of attract new customer bases and retain the ones that they kind of have. Now, one piece of advice to someone interested in working in your job sector. So work experience. Even right now, I look after our kind of partnerships with Leeds University, Barnsley colleges, Notre Dame College, schools, whatever it may be. And our doors are always open to work experience. No one will ever, the worst thing someone could ever say is no to you. If you message them and say, I would love to do some work experience in your company and understand what it is that I kind of want to do, or what your company does that kind of makes it tick or makes it one of the best. And the reason I say that is that work experience will teach you at twice the speed of any course or degree ever will. There's nothing like being in it and kind of learning to swim immediately in that kind of environment that really kind of helps you kind of propel you to your future. So even right now, from my perspective as well, I truly don't believe I've reached the peak of my career yet. And so then what I want to do now is I want to go on to kind of operations and business management and things like that. So this is the thing I've never done. So then how do I do it? It's not so much like, yes, I could go back and read and do a qualification, things like that. But actually what I've done is I've turned around to my directors and the owners of the companies and said, that's a space I'd like to be in. Can I sit in on this meeting? Oh, you're having this meeting. Can I come and listen? Can I read those notes? Can I do that? And throw myself into it to give me that work experience. Because then what then happens is I start bringing ideas into those meetings and going, oh, by the way, sorry to interject, but yeah, so if you're going to do this, this is how I'd approach it. And start putting yourself in situations where you become useful and you're learning things on the fly and constantly kind of adjusting. And yeah, I'm always open to work experience. And it's one of the biggest things I think we should take advantage of. And it is just hound, wherever you want to get to, work experience, hound them, keep at them. They will open their doors for you. It's just, you have to be a little bit resilient about it. But yeah, and as always, I'm available on Twitter, Thierry, or at Thierry Allen, spelled Alain. So just give me a little tweet. I'm also on Instagram as well. If you have any questions, just give me a shout. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing time and look after yourself.